continuation class of diseases, causes and control. So today we are going to learn about the diseases which are caused by the parasitic worms. Now what do you mean by parasites? Right? Parasites are those organisms which cannot survive in the absence of host. Their life cycles are totally completed or dependent in the body of the host. Without host, they cannot survive. So there might be intracellular parasites, we can say, or extracellular parasites. Yeah, but today we will learn about the type of diseases which are mainly caused by the parasitic worms which are present in the body of the host, which will derive its nutrition, its nourishment totally from the host. So what are the type of diseases which are caused by these parasitic worms? So mainly we'll learn about ascariasis, we'll learn about theriasis and filariasis. So these are three types of diseases which are caused by parasitic worms. So first one is ascariasis, number two theriasis, and number three filariasis. So the most important thing over here is that you have to remember the scientific name of the causative agent that causes this particular disease. Clear? You have to remember the scientific name. So first of all, we will learn about ascariasis. Clear? So I have written from the book, so it will be easier for you. So ascariasis is mainly caused by a common round worm. It is mainly caused by a common round worm. What kindly remember the scientific name of the common round worm. The scientific name is Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay, the scientific name of the common round worm is Ascaris lumbricoides. So these Ascaris lumbricoides will cause the disease called ascariasis. It's a common round worm. Clear? So since I've done the scientific name, you have to underline it separately. This is the generic name and this is the species name. Okay, so we have to underline it. So Ascaris lumbricoides will cause a disease called ascariasis. Yeah, so this is the figure of Ascaris lumbricoides. So this one is male Ascaris and this one is female Ascaris. Now we have to even differentiate between the male Ascaris lumbricoides and the female Ascaris lumbricoides. How can we identify it? Okay, we'll go through it. We'll go with the identification of both the sexes of Ascaris. Now, round worm is an elongated cylindrical worm about the size of an earthworm. But when we look into the structure of the male and female, when you look at the diagram of male and female, you can say over here, female is slightly longer than the male. So you can say over here, this is the female, this one is the female, and this one is the male. So female is slightly longer than the male. So first point, first character of identification between the male and female Ascaris is that female are longer than that of the male. So male are short in length, whereas female are longer. Clear? First point. Second point, we'll go through it. The male have a slightly curved hind end. That means at the end region of the male, alright, the end region is slightly curved. So we'll find a curved area. So we'll mainly find a curved end region in case of male, whereas curved ends are absent in case of female. So first point, male are short, females are longer. Number two, in case of male, we will find a curved end and such ends are absent in case of female. Clear? So these are the two characteristic features for the identification of male and female Ascaris lumbricoides. Now, these worms may be found in the intestines where they absorb digested food from the host. So since it is intracellular, it is present within within our body. Alright, so within our body, this particular worm, they are mainly present in the intestine. Alright, so in intestinal regions, they will absorb the digested food from the body of the host. So if we are the host of this worm, then this particular worm, roundworm, will mainly infect our intestine and it will absorb the digested food particles from our body. Now, the female lays several thousand eggs per day, which pass out along with the patient. That means within our body, the female will lay the eggs, and those eggs will be excreted from our body through the human excreta. Alright? Now, once the eggs will be excreted from the body through the human excreta, through the waste product, then those eggs will be scattered in the soil, even they match with the vegetables in the field. Okay? Now once the children, those who are playing on the ground, they might be infected, alright, with those eggs. They can touch those soils or those vegetables by their hands, alright, and in that case, they will be infected. Or even one can get infected by eating those vegetables, alright, with unwashed hand, or by taking those vegetables without proper cooking, or through the unwashed raw vegetables. It's very easy. So how can this particular worm get infected or can be transmitted? First thing, these roundworms will infect our intestine, and in the intestine they will start absorbing the digested food materials. Clear? Now within our body, the female will lay several eggs, nearly thousands of eggs. Now that egg will be removed from our body through the excreta, through the fecal materials, through the feces. Clear? Now once those eggs will be removed from our body through the excreta, now those eggs can scatter here and there. Alright, so the eggs can reach the soil or even they can reach the vegetables. Clear? Now, if the children are playing on the field, then in that case, the eggs can be touched by the children with their hand. In that case, the child will be infected. Or one can be infected if we used to eat by our hands. Clear? If we have touched those eggs by our bare hands, by our hand, and if we used to eat the eatables by those hands that contain the egg, then we will be infected. Or one can be even infected by taking the vegetables that contain the roundworm eggs without proper cooking. So by this way, the infections or this egg can be transmitted from one individual to another individual. So ascariasis is mainly caused by a roundworm or Ascaris lumbricoides. The males are slightly shorter than that of the females, so females are longer, male are got narrow or say curved end, actually in case of the female. So these particular worms are present in our intestine, present in the intestine of the host, where they will absorb the digested food materials. Within our body, the female will lay several thousand eggs, and those eggs will be removed from our body through the fecal material. Now those eggs will scatter here and there in the soil or even in the vegetables, and mainly the individuals will be infected if they will come in contact with those eggs. Alright, if the children will touch the egg with their hand, and if they used to eat the eatables without washing their hands, then those children will be infected. Or even individuals used to eat the raw vegetables without proper cooking that contains the egg of roundworm. In that case also, the infections or the worms can be transmitted. So here we have finished about ascariasis. Can we go through it? Okay. The next one we'll talk about filariasis. The second disease is caused by the parasitic worms. Filariasis is also called elephantiasis. We'll go through it. Why do we call it elephantiasis also? So the name suggests filariasis. It is caused by a filarial worm Wucheria bancrofti. Can you remember the causative agent of filariasis? It is caused by a filarial worm called Wucheria bancrofti. So can you look at the given diagram? So this is the worm, filarial worm that causes elephantiasis. Clear? So this is the structure of Wucheria bancrofti on the diagram of filarial worm. Here, so we look at the given diagram. So this is the filarial worm. Okay. The disease is also commonly known as elephantiasis. I hope by looking at the diagram, you can correlate with the name elephantiasis. Now, Wucheria bancrofti, or we can say the filarial worm that causes elephantiasis or ascariasis, is mainly transmitted through the bite of the Culex mosquito. Remember that we have malaria, kind of it. Over there, the parasite Plasmodium was mainly transmitted by the bite of a female Anopheles mosquito. But over here, filariasis is mainly transmitted by the bite of the Culex mosquito. Clear? Now these tiny worms, Wucheria bancrofti, they mainly lie in our lymphatic system and in the connective tissue of the human body. So these worms are present in our lymphatic systems, in our lymph vessels, and in our connective tissues, mainly the limbs. Now, this is very important. Why do we call it elephantiasis? Legs become swollen, resembling those of the elephant. So can you look at the diagram? So over here you can see the structure of the leg, right? It's totally swollen. There's inflammation of the leg totally swollen. Okay, so it looks like the leg of an elephant. Hence, the disease is also known as elephantiasis. Now, the legs become swollen, resembling those of the elephant. Hence, the name elephantiasis. Yeah. Now, the swelling of the leg. Now, why is the swelling of the leg? We'll go through it. Okay. The swelling of the leg is due to the blockage of lymph circulation by the worms. That means mainly in the lymph. Alright, mainly in the lymph region, in the lymph, this particular worm, Wucheria bancrofti lies. They are present in the lymph area, so that there will be the blockage of the circulation in the lymph region. So due to this blockage of circulation in the lymph area, there will be swelling. And that swelling of the leg looks like the leg of an elephant. Hence, the disease is named as elephantiasis. Okay, we'll go ahead. So due to the blockage of lymph circulation by the worms, resulting in inflammation of the lymph glands and lymph vessels, its symptoms are enlargement of the limbs, ankle, feveric chills in acute cases. So mainly the general symptom is mainly the inflammation or the swelling of the legs. Okay. Now why that swelling? Swelling is mainly there due to the blockage of lymph circulation by the presence of the worm Wucheria bancrofti. So that there will be enlargement of limb and the ankle. Okay, there will be fever with side chill in acute cases. Okay, so these are the symptoms of the disease filariasis. Now treatment can be done. Eradication of the vector means vector over here is Culex mosquito. Remember, the vector is Culex mosquito. So we have to completely remove the vector. We have to remove the Culex mosquito. That will help in the transfer of the worm Wucheria bancrofti. Then we can use the antibiotics and anti-inflammatory analgesics for the treatment of elephantiasis or filariasis. I will clear for you. Right? So this particular disease, elephantiasis or filariasis caused by Wucheria bancrofti, which will directly impact our lymphatic systems. It will lead to the blockage of our limb. Alright, there will be inflammation of lymph glands and the lymph vessels. There will be inflammation or the swelling of legs and the ankles. Clear? Remember the scientific name, Wucheria bancrofti. The next one we learn about the third disease that is caused by the parasitic worm. That is mainly taniasis. Okay. So taniasis is mainly caused by the tapeworm. So look over here. So taniasis is caused by the tapeworm. The scientific name of the tapeworm is Taenia solium. Remember the scientific name. Scientific name is Taenia solium. The common name is tapeworm. Now, since it is the scientific name, we have to underline it separately. So taniasis is mainly caused by a tapeworm called Taenia solium. And there are mainly two types of tapeworms. One will be transmitted by eating the infected part, that's meat, and the other by eating the infected beef. So in both cases, this particular tapeworm is being transmitted by consuming the infected meat, the meat of pork and the beef. Now the tapeworm will mainly remain in the intestine, where it may reach a length up to a meter. So look over here. So the structure of the diagram of a tapeworm. Here, it is like a tapeworm, and is mainly an enlarged microscopic view of the tapeworm. This is mainly the head regions, which we'll discuss afterwards. Okay, this is mainly the head regions of the tapeworm. So the general diagram of the tapeworm: Taenia solium, that causes taniasis, alright, which will infect our intestines, and usually go in the intestine and can reach a length up to 1 meter. So this is the enlarged microscopic view of the Taenia solium. Now, next one. This particular tapeworm, we have learned that it will infect our intestine. It will be present in our intestine, so that in the intestine, in the body of the host, alright, it can absorb the digested food, and once it starts absorbing the digested food from the body of the host becomes very, very weak. Clear? So these Taenia soliums will thrive in the intestine of the host, and once they are present in the intestine of the host, they will start absorbing the nutrients, nourishment from the host body, so that the host becomes very, very weak. Yeah? Now, the mature worm breaks off a small segment from its tail, and which passes out with the passage. Now, before going to that, we'll go with the diagram. Alright, look over here. Figure number A, even you can go to the book also. This is one I can from the book. So you can see over here, this is the tapeworm, the Taenia solium, representing the intestine. Clear? This is the mature Taenia solium, which is present in the intestine. Clear? Now, once this Taenia solium will be mature, once this tapeworm will be mature, then, look over carefully, then it will break up a small segment from its tail end. So, once the Taenia solium will be mature, then that particular worm will break up a small segment from its tail end, which passes out with the feces. That means through the human excreta, a small segment from the tail end will be removed from the body of the host. So you can look over here. So figure number B is the head part, scolex, which will mainly help in the attachment of the Taenia solium in the human intestine. So this is the head part, the scolex part. Okay. So you can see over here. So this particular part is the head part, the scolex part. Clear? So it will help the worm to mainly thrive in the host intestine. Clear? So this is the microscopic view of the scolex part or the head part of the Taenia solium. So this is the scolex part, the head part. These are the segments which you can see in the body of the worm. Clear? Number C, there is a small fragment from the tail regions which the worm will break when it will become mature. Now D is the egg. Alright. Figure number D, which you can see over here, is the egg which are present in the fragment. Clear? And E is the embryo, the 6-hooked embryo. E is the embryo part with these hook regions, and A is the bladder worm. larval stage. So F is the larval stage of the worm which are present in the flesh of the pig or that of the pig. Clear? So let's see now. So what we learn is that, so when the tapeworm will be mature, it will break off a small fragment from its tail region. So that means the small fragment which has been removed from the tail region when the worm will be mature. Now, this segment contains egg. So you can see over here, the small fragment contains the egg. So this is the egg of the Taenia solium. So the small fragment contains the egg. Now, when the eggs are accidentally ingested by the pig or by the cow, they hatch and form the larval stage. So that means when these eggs are accidentally taken in by the cow or by the pig, now this egg will hatch. Alright, this egg will hatch into an embryo, and embryo will develop into a larva. Okay, so those larval stages will develop in the body of a pig or a cow, which will settle in the muscle of the new host. In this new host means pig or the cow. Now, when the men, the final host, when they eat the raw or imperfectly cooked pork or the beef, the worm matures in his intestine. So when the human being, the final host of Taenia solium, when the human being used to eat the raw meat which is not properly cooked, alright, that in that case, that larval stage along with the meat will enter the body of the host, and that larval stage will develop within the body or within the intestine of the host and will develop over there. Again it will mature. Again it will break off a small fragment of the tail region that will contain the egg. So that egg can reach the grasses, can reach the vegetables which can be taken accidentally by the cow or by the pig. Once those animals will take out those eggs accidentally, then those eggs will develop into a larval stage within the body of the cow or that of the pig. Yeah? And once the human being, once the final host will take up those pork or the beef that contains the larval stage of Taenia solium, that's what this Taenia says. Therefore, along with the meat, the larval stage of Taenia solium will enter the body of the host. It will reach the intestine and will start maturing over there. Then again comes the Taenia acids. Clear? So today we have learned about the three diseases which are caused by the parasitic worms. We have learned about Ascariasis, we have learned about Filariasis or the Elephantiasis, and the third disease, Taniasis. So here you have to remember the name of the causative agent, that is the scientific name of the worm that causes Ascariasis, that is Ascaris lumbricoides. Then Filariasis caused by Bacteria catastrophe is also called Elephantiasis, and Taniasis is caused by Taenia solium. And remember the symptoms of the disease, how are they transmitted from one individual to another individuals. So now in the next class, we learn about the diseases which are caused by the virus. We learn about the viral diseases in the next class. So this was for today. Thank you.